Hello Varlets. Patch 15 Part 1 is out today. This is a lot earlier than anticipated, but I certainly won't be complaining. First off, we are getting a new map. Mercantile HL70-04 is the first map of the Carnival zone that we'll have access to. It reads that the heretics are using some areas in the Mercantile to produce stims for distribution throughout the rest of the hive. We need to get in there and recover samples we can analyze for the blight. The veteran is also getting their keystone nodes in this patch. They will be receiving the Marksman's Focus Keystone, which allows veterans to gain an increasing finesse and reload speed buff for getting weak spot kills while stationary. Moving without getting weak spot kills or hits removes stacks. The improvement nodes include providing rending, toughness replenishment, increased max stacks, as well as easier stack management. Next, the Focus Target Keystone allows the veterans to tag an enemy for increased damage based on how many stacks they have accumulated beforehand. Improvement nodes include increasing the strength of the tag, as well as gaining bonuses to toughness, stamina, and damage to allies once the tagged enemy has been killed. Finally, the Weapon Specialist Keystone rewards veterans for adopting a weapon swapping playstyle, powering up one weapon with kills from the other and vice versa. Bonuses are granted when you make the swap. Improvement nodes include better stamina management for melee weapons, better ammo management for range weapons, as well as a toughness boost. Sounds like a bunch of interesting things to look over, but I'll need to sit down and do some proper testing myself in-game. If there's anything interesting to it, you can be sure you'll hear from me. This patch also brings us the Inspect feature, allowing us to check out the loadouts of players in the hub or while waiting in the mission lobby. Penances are also getting looked at. Many of the broken penances which wouldn't progress have been fixed. Here is a list of the fixed penances, as well as the removal of a couple. Judging by how these removed penances used to be tied to the flash mission we never got, are we not getting them anymore? Who knows? We are also receiving some tweaks and bug fixes. The Ogrin's Light 'em Up node from Point Blank Barrage would previously trigger multiple times on the same shot on the same enemy. This will no longer be the case. Assail is getting its replenishment rate reduced. Its base cooldown has increased from 2 seconds to 3 seconds. I think this is a fair nerf. The uptime on the ability was so good that you really didn't have to use a weapon for most of the mission, even on Damnation. Warp Rider is getting fixed so that it no longer provides a free 10% damage bonus at 0% peril. It will now provide 0% damage at 0% peril and scale up from there. For vets, it seems like they have fixed the bug where Enhanced Target Priority, which was supposed to highlight shooters for all players, wasn't working. Now it should properly highlight enemies for everyone. The toughness bonus from Duty and Honor, that's the vet's toughness on shout, has been lowered back to 50 from 100. According to the devs, the ability was way too strong given the buffs in its uptime from the previous patch. Chorus of Spiritual Fortitude is seeing a buff. It can now stagger bosses and presumably monsters on the first pulse, as well as every other pulse that follows. So it looks like we can still push monsters off the ledge if we time it right. They've also fixed the bug where you can get stuck channeling Chorus but nothing actually happens. Martydom, in a way, has been nerfed but also not really. Its total stacks is now 7 instead of 9. 7 wounds is the maximum number of wounds you could get in Damnation level anyway, so this is really only a nerf for Malice difficulty and below. Moving on to weapons and blessing tweaks, the Surge Staff will no longer receive the smite bonus from Empowered Psionics. No more free double damage for all of you who were using it this way. The issue where the thrust power increase was removed while using Chastise the Wicked, that's the Zealot dash, mid-swing has been fixed. Praise the God Emperor, my Redeemer is happy about this. The Grenadier Gauntlet has had its melee power toned down. They have removed the finesse multiplier, which caused very high headshot damage, on heavy attacks especially. They've also slightly reduced the melee damage profile and lowered the armor multiplier on Carapace and Unyielding. Speaking of Unyielding, Unyielding enemies now have a reduced bleed damage modifier, lowering it down from 1 to 0.75. Combining this with monsters now taking less explosion damage, and monsters in general are now a lot more durable, when before they were getting blasted into Kingdom Come, all while bleeding profusely. Those were the highlights of the patch notes to me. There's a lot more small stuff talked about in the notes, which I will link below as well. Can't wait to check out the new map and mission when it finally rotates in, as well as taking a look at the veterans' new keystone nodes to see what builds can be made. That's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Varlets.